Says Miley can be a psychologist.
There's another me. Yeah, there's another you. Well, there are lots of other yous. But one of them is sitting in a chair. I think because, when I have been interrogated so much in my own way, in my life. And at one point, there was a petition against me. I think it was called A Million Moms. Are you fucking serious?
Are you fucking serious? Okay, so
Not serving them effectively and efficiently, they will typically discard you like a defective.
the ghost in the attic.
Be in their life as long as you are convenient.
My God, it
Very good.
hurts to move my fingers.
No matter how much.
Okay, the ghost in the attic. One morning, when Peter was eating his oatmeal, he heard a funny sound. I hear a funny sound, he told his mother. His mother stopped to listen. I don't hear anything, she said. It must be your imagination.
Advantages, they're gone. If this happens, take it as one of the greatest gifts you will ever
I don't
receive.
hear anything, she said. It must be your imagination.
ASTD tend to have a history of having a very high number of sexual partners. And they rarely
That afternoon, when he was playing Go Fish with his sister, Peter heard the funny sound again. I hear a funny sound, he told his sister. His sister stopped to listen. I don't hear anything, she said. It's your imagination.
That is commonly found in those with this disorder. Number 8. Contrary to
That night, when Peter...
disorder are dangerous criminals.
That night, when his father was tucking him into bed, Peter heard the funny sound a third time. I heard a funny sound, he told his father.
Many people with this disorder who are high
His father stopped to listen. I don't hear anything, he said. Really, Peter? What an imagination you have.
That said, those with moderate or high functioning individuals, although they may not be criminal.
Peter knew it was not his imagination. So that night, when everyone was asleep, he got out of bed, he put on his slippers, he got his flashlight, and he tiptoed out of his room.
Just under the line.
Did he eat that cookie last night? I'm going to eat that cookie. Slowly, step by step, Peter crept down the long, dark hall. There, Peter heard it again. The funny sound was coming from the attic. Ooh, hoo, hoo, ho, 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 ho. Peter stopped. The hair on his neck felt strange. He thought of turning back, but he didn't. We're going to end this here. I'm going to go eat that cookie. We're going to continue later. No, we could cut here. We'll see.
Power or profit by whatever means necessary.
By whatever means. Down the hall and up the stairs he went. When he got to the attic door, he listened. He heard a rush. He heard a shush. He heard a whoosh. Then he opened the door and stepped into darkness.
Keep their ego fueled.
Keep the evil fueled.
Bigger and better to hide how small and shameful they are.
Lumpy shadows filled the room. Peter shined his light on them. He saw piles of boxes and dusty books. He saw the crib that used to be his when he was little. He saw an old birdcage with a tall chest of drawers. What was that? Someone was hiding in the corner. Someone tall, someone terrible, someone with a head as big as a pumpkin. Peter's hand shook, his knees shook, his teeth chattered. He stepped closer, closer, closer. Now he was so close. He could almost reach out and touch the monster in the corner. Woo! It was only the dummy his mother used for her sewing. On its shoulder, staring out of hollow eyes, sat an old jack-o'-lantern. Peter's flashlight moved on. Behind its yellow beam, the shadows danced like wavy ghosts. Pooh, said Peter. Who believes in ghosts? I do, said a small voice from the corner of the room.
So, while it's true that the severity of the disorder can range from mild to extreme,
Who's there? Asked Peter. There was no answer. Who is it? He asked again. But again, there was no answer. Peter shined his light into a corner. Something moved, something small and white. And then it was gone. He heard another rush. And a shush and a whoosh.
will help them see the light and change.
Peter didn't wait to find out what it was. He went back to his room and he ran the entire way. And he ran the entire way.
Now, if you're still in this relationship because you're afraid because you're trauma bonded, you're eternally confused, despite knowing that this person is really, really bad for you. Just know that there's help out there. So
You should run from things that are bad for you. You should really always like
if you like
run
this video, please subscribe and
really
for more
far.
information about how antisocial personality disorder looks when it overlaps or is in combination with
The next morning, one of his slippers was missing. He looked everywhere, but it was gone. Later, when he was eating his breakfast, Peter said, "There's someone hiding in the attic." "Of course there isn't," said his mother. "Tell me another," said his sister. "Don't be silly," said his father.
I know you talked about really with your album too about wanting it to be healing in a vibration, a certain vibration. I love what you
A certain vibration. "But," said Peter. "Don't be silly," said his father. "And Peter," he said, frowning, "remember what we said about your imagination." "Tell me another," said his sister. "Don't be silly," said his father. "And Peter," he said, frowning, "remember what we said about your imagination."
But I feel that,
"Of course there isn't," said his mother. "Tell me another," said his sister. "Don't be silly," said his father. And he said, frowning, "Remember what we said about your imagination." "Of course there isn't," said his mother. "Tell me another," said his sister. "Don't be silly," said his father. And Peter, he said, frowning, "Remember what we said about your imagination."
But it's processed.
"But," said Peter. "No buts." "What?" "Of course there isn't," said his mother. "Tell me another," said his sister. "Don't be silly," said his father. And Peter, he said, frowning, "Remember what we said about your imagination." "But," said Peter. His mother said, "No buts." "But," said Peter. His father said, "You heard your mother." "But," said Peter. His sister giggled. So Peter finished his breakfast and he didn't say another word. So Peter finished his breakfast and didn't say another word.
Right. Well, my birthday's July 23rd, so I
can make you a vase.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Thanks so much to Audible, our presenting sponsor. Craving your next adventure? It's waiting for you on